Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at Kang-In, a South Korean international, currently playing at Valencia, 19 years of age and a bit of an attacking player for them. Can play anywhere behind the striker and even a little bit deeper if necessary. Made 3 appearances already for South Korea. A bit of a little startlet certainly. Very good determination and flair in there. Some good technicals already at the age of 19. Physicals are a bit lackluster. You'd hope for maybe a little bit more at this stage, but nothing too bad. Can see that he has been at the club since 2017-18, played 46 games and scored 6 goals for them so far. But we'll jump straight ahead, take a look at his development and how he's getting on. Okay, so 5 years on, 2025 now, 24 years old, 49 caps and 15 goals later for South Korea. And we can see he's still at Valencia. Nothing too much to develop on. There are a few stats maybe that have increased slightly, but nothing overly huge. A little disappointing. We'd have liked to maybe see a bit more. There are a few injuries that we can see here that may have affected him over his time. He's quite a few little injuries, moderate injuries, minor injuries, and even a major one in there for 2 months for a hip injury, which is a bit of a shame. Milestones wise, we can see that he's won the Asian Nations Cup with South Korea. Otherwise, no real trophies since the start of the save. Interesting to see. Certainly be interesting to see if he does kind of develop any further, if his improvements do come through, or if that's kind of it for him. And if there's any big moves at all, or if he kind of sticks at Valencia value after being valued at 21 million. But we'll jump ahead another 5 years, see where he's at and how he's gone. So he's stayed loyal to Valencia for a long time now. 98 caps and 25 goals for South Korea, just under that century mark, which I'm sure he'll reach in no time. Stats still haven't really improved or changed much. It's nothing spectacular, a very mediocre player. That's probably why he stayed at Valencia. £24 million in value. Played a lot of games for them, 327 to be precise. Nothing spectacular in performance-wise either, so there's no real standout years there. Some okay performances, but nothing spectacular. Let's take a look at milestones. No more trophies have been won whilst being at Valencia. Kind of a bit of a middling player at the moment. It'll be interesting to see if he does move on and kind of where his kind of end of his career takes him. So we'll jump ahead again and take a look. So no change, still at Valencia. 150 caps now for South Korea. So a lot of international appearances for them with 36 goals as well. Stats wise, physicals as expected at 34 years old have declined quite a bit, but probably won't matter as much as he's an attacking midfielder centrally. Stats again very mediocre, nothing to really shout about. And again, appearance wise, he's continued to play a lot of games, but nothing again to really talk of that stood out for us here. I mean, if anything, he has improved slightly over the few seasons. With kind of goals and assists that he's provided. But again, nothing really to talk about any further. We'll have to see how his career ends. Is he a one-man club forever in Valencia? An interesting kind of club for someone like Kang-In, the South Korean, to stay at? Or will he ever move on? We'll take a look. Wow, okay, so he did end up moving in his career to Stuttgart right at the end. £180,000 to them. Didn't perform. They got relegated. Played a little better, but nothing's amazing. Milestones wise, nothing's really happened. He won the Nations Cup again and got relegated with Stuttgart. That's pretty much it. So playing for South Korea, he did well. Otherwise, didn't really win anything. But is now an under-19s coach at Real Madrid, which is very interesting. His stats look actually good. It looks like he's actually a coach that you could definitely bring in. Continental B license, studying for his Continental A. 39 years old now. So Real Madrid's obviously seen something in him, and I think they have every right to. He could probably be a bit of a okay assistant manager or even a manager if needed. Not a bad coach. Defending and tactical is obviously not great, but technically, mentally, fitness, attacking, all okay. Determination, level of discipline are very, very good, and motivating is even pretty good. So you could have him do your team talks if you want him to. but a good player. Certainly a player that has done very well playing for them. No Spanish, German and Korean, so can get you into a bunch of different teams. Decent looking coach, I have to say. It's probably the best end of a career that we've seen for a player as of yet, especially with stats as well and kind of who they're at coaching wise. So that was very, very interesting. Trophies wise, we can see there's he won Asian Young Footballer of the Year 4 times and got 3rd place for the Under-21 World Golden Ball and Asian Footballer of the Year. But otherwise, nothing really there with regards to any appearances or anything like that. A lot of games played though. There is a 510 games played, 69 goals and 61 assists. And an average rating of 7, which isn't bad, but definitely not good either. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I certainly did. Like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I will catch you next time.